women and femme presenting people and like people a part of any marginalized communities, I feel like love watching, well, documentaries in general, but also we love just watching I was gonna say true crime, specifically true crime. And so with the true crime, it's like there's like studies have been done, like why do women in particular like watching those? And I think it is just because I'm losing my snapping ability. That's okay though. I actually didn't see it's right here, but I think that it's actually, oh, I forgot. Sorry if it's not auto-locked yet. Okay, I completely forgot to. Where's the eyelash? There it is. I completely forgot to auto-lock the thing, so I'm sorry if it's been a little bit blurry when I've been snapping. Should I start over? I really don't want to start over because I feel like we've already had a good start, so I'm sorry, it's on auto-lock. Again, I've said before in like previous recent videos where it's hard for me to remember to keep the autofocus lock on so that it doesn't focus in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, so that doesn't make you dizzy or anything like that. So I'm sorry, hopefully you didn't click away, click off if that makes you a little bit dizzy, because now I have it on, so it shouldn't be much of an issue literally at all. So about true crime, I actually don't really remember what I was gonna say with that true crime. Oh, like there have been people have tried studying why women love true crime, and it's like it's because it's almost like subconsciously we're trying to prepare ourselves in case, like to know what to do in case we were ever in a situation where we like are getting attacked or like assaulted or anything like that, which would suck, and I really don't wish that upon anybody. But yeah, so women, you know, we try to prepare and we try to like know what we could do in that kind of situation so we wouldn't be something bad wouldn't happen to us, is what I should say. I don't want YouTube to get too mad with me about that, but you know what I'm saying. And so because of that is why apparently women like watching true crimes, because subconsciously we're trying to like prepare ourselves in case that were to like happen to us, knowing what to do, or when somebody we love, because women are more likely to be targeted for hate crimes than men. No offense if you're a man, I'm not trying to like make you feel better or anything like that, but I'm just saying like research studies like from a psychological and mental health point of view, trying to connect the dots and trying to figure out why that is that women like true crime even more than men, and why we watch it quite a bit, not as a whole, like, but it's statistically more that women will watch true crime as opposed to men. I haven't seen true crime specifically in a while. I have nothing against it. I go through like spurts of watching like documentaries in general, and that includes true crime stuff, and there are certain cases that I'm very interested in around no, it was not Unsolved Mysteries. I've seen like a video or two of people talking about this unsolved case. This person who like completely disappeared. And he was walking along, like in the middle of nowhere, kind of like interstate highway, like a county road. And it was like in southern Minnesota, I think. Somewhere in southern Minnesota. Definitely south of the Twin Cities, I'm pretty sure. And he was walking along. Maybe was it more? It may have more. It may have more shaking. It may have. Okay, I may have more specific. It may have more specifically been southwestern Minnesota, but either way, I think it was more in the southern half. And this guy was like drunk, and he was stranded out the side of the road. He didn't know where he was, and he called his parents. This was like in around 2000. Maybe I want to say 2000. 1, 2. Maybe it was actually 2005. And but he like he was never found. When he called his parents and he's like, I don't know where I am. Can you come pick me up? I don't know the specifics. He was on the side of the road. He didn't know where he was. And he's like, can you help me? His phone was about to die, I think. And he thought he was somewhere. He ended up, his truck was found somewhere completely opposite, like 30 miles away from where he thought that he was. And he was never found. People thought maybe he fell into there was some construction going on in the area, so they thought maybe he fell into like a pothole or like cement. I don't know. Or like there was open water. Kinda open water. It wasn't like anything like really deep or anything, but it was like swampy-ish water, and it was the summer, I think, maybe beginning of fall or like just before fall. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure it was summer. And they thought maybe he drowned in like this very shallow water, or maybe he fell into like a pothole. There was no other trace of anybody else being nearby. I don't think, like nobody who could have maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It was in the middle of nowhere, so there was literally absolutely no stores. And so because of that, like not even close nearby, because of that, it's like it was in the middle of nowhere, nobody would have seen anything. It was like near open land and like farm fields and stuff, so it's like, what the heck happened? What in the heck? He was like a 1920 when that happened. If you look up the Minnesota cold case of like the man who disappeared, it was like in the 2000s. I want to say it's 2003, 2005 or something. It could have been even earlier than that. But I feel like it's gotta be in the 2000s. Maybe it was the late 90s. I'm not. This one didn't snap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And so, there we go. There we go. And so, yeah, that's a true crime case. I found that out from 2 different YouTube videos that were talking about basically the same information that was in both. And so because of you reason why I know about that case. There's a case in Minnesota that have happened that have been solved. We are known for the 𝒂𝒃𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 case. Should I even be talking about these stuff? I don't know if I should even be talking about these things because they're sad, but there's just interesting cold cases and true crime cases that we are known for. What is it? The Quarry Girls. There's a place in Minnesota called Quarry Park. And apparently it's really well known from people I didn't know about until I moved to Minnesota, and like people talk about going there for the summer, but I didn't know about it. But there's a true crime case that happened there in like the 80s. These two young girls. Sorry, if you don't like true crime, you really should. Look them up. I'm somebody who has a morbid curiosity. I grew up in the beginning of the internet, and like internet culture is like it's all very morbid, so I have a morbid curiosity. So maybe that's also why I like true crime. But I like documentaries and anything. Anyway, like I can learn about anybody and it would be interesting to me. But true crime, it's like I like to think I'm a very like tedious person, so I feel like I would actually make a good detective. I feel like a lot of people think that though, but I feel like it would be, because I'm really good at like looking at the little details, and I'm nice. I talk to people. I don't know. I feel like I would be good like just connecting the dots. I don't do like web sleuthing in my free time though because I want to get paid if I do that. But also it is helpful for people. But also it's like I feel like if I were to only do that, I would spend all my time doing that. And then I just wouldn't have time to like do anything else in life. And I feel like it'll probably affect my mental health. How do people do this and not do therapy? Like how does it not affect their mental health? That is what I want to know. So I don't know how people do it and they don't get paid. It's like I feel like I feel like the people who are more well known for doing like the web sleuthing in their free time have good enough jobs, and maybe they don't really have families, so they get paid well enough, and so they don't have to worry about like other things in their life. So they just try to help other people. I don't know. I'll have to see with my new phone because it's different how it connects to the Blue Yeti. The audio is different, technically speaking. I'll have to see how different like the snapping will be. And hopefully it's not too loud because it kind of, in a way, almost interjects. My speaking, but I guess it's kind of right after I speak. But still, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I'd be talking about true crime. I feel like have I talked about these kids before? I don't even remember what I talked about in the Anticipatory ASMR or that catching you off guard Anticipatory ASMR video. I don't remember what exactly it was that I like did or was talking about. But y'all don't watch to like look at my, I guess kind of look at my lips. Ooh. But you will just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've been saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, too much in this video. But it just helps to like transitioning to keep the ball rolling and to not have me just stop and pause and stop and pause and stop, 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 pop, 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 pop. I feel like there's something I want to say though about like, oh yeah, I watch all kinds of documentaries and docuseries. For some reason, they don't really, like, I get upset by them, like, especially if they are like true crime, where it's like highlighting something wrong that somebody's done, which a lot of times documentaries, that's what they do, they highlight like cults or family dynamics that I don't like. Some tragedy has happened. So it can be sad, but for some reason, when I watch documentaries and docuseries, like, I don't want to say it brings me like a peace, a sense of peace, but I don't know. It connects me to the darkness. I've always been intrigued just by things that are like dark and mysterious, because, or things that people are afraid to discuss or talk about. I think that comes from like growing up. People were like, in my household, didn't talk about things that should have been talked about. So it's like, I like when things are talked about. It's like, bring things to the surface. It's okay to talk about things, even if it's difficult or hard. I don't know. I feel like that's just maybe a little bit of it. Also, just I think my personality in general. I just like things that are dark. That's weird to say, like true crime. I like trying to connect the pieces. I like feeling like, I guess I could be helpful in some way. I don't know. Trying to see and if it's already like known what happened, then trying to connect the dots. If the docuseries or the documentary is set up in a way where it's like a whodunit and I don't know who's done it yet, and they bring about all the evidence and the potential suspects, and it's like I'm trying to guess. So yeah, I think doing that though, it also connects with, on a shorter, smaller scale, people just trying to connect the dots and like figure things out in their own life while also trying to prevent bad things from happening. But yeah, I watch all different kinds of, all ones based on religious practices or cults. Like I said about cults, I really like watching those. Those are very interesting for me to watch. And it's also just because I like to learn about things that I never have experienced, and also that I never will experience. I like learning about those things. I like to just learn about things, even if I forget. I always remember. That's not the thing. It's not always about what people say, because a lot of times people forget what people say, but it's how they make you feel, right? That whole quote, that whole saying, and all that. But I don't want to say that documentaries make me feel good. It just makes me feel more well-informed. And that includes about things that I hope to never one day experience. I just like learning about different experiences. I don't like learning so much about like scientific theories or like math equations. When I was younger, I liked learning about history, but I'm really bad at remembering names and dates, which is like in locations. So all that, like the specifics, I'm a very visual person. So that means that specifics, but it's still very interesting to me, you know what I'm saying? Like the Roman Empire, when that was all the rage about men, think about the Roman Empire so much or whatever, and I'm like, I don't, part of the reason is because, like, I don't think about history, well, I don't want to say I don't think about history, because I do, and it's important to learn from history. I think about history, but I don't think about, like, specifics, like, this person did this at this place, like, playing a game of Clue, where it's like, Mr. Plum with the hammer, or whatever, in the library. I don't know. It's like, I don't remember connecting those pieces, but I'm very visual, so that's also why docu-series and documentaries are good for me as opposed to reading. Reading makes me fall asleep, like, into the book. Like, right into the book, and so it can be hard for me to read. And also because I'm a visual person, so I retain information better when I visualize, when I get, but I also don't like when people do reenactments and true crime stuff, or like people make a series out of like the Jeffrey Dahmer case, for example. I think all that is really weird. And I'd rather people just watch documentaries, but I'm a visual person, so but at least seeing people talk, it like helps me to remember the words that are being said, the general gist. I'm not good at remembering very specific details, but I remember like the general information, the gist of things. At least I try to. So I try to remember things as much as I can, but I have a very bad memory, especially since my concussion. I say this, but ever since my concussion, my memory has been even worse, but I've always had bad memory. Always had bad memory, but it's just been made worse by my concussion back in 2020, right before the pandemic shut everything down. So I guess it was almost kind of, it's like if it were to happen in my life, at least it happened during a pandemic, you know, when I had money and savings, so I could still afford my rent that I had with my sister back in North Dakota. Please, if you live in the United States, don't ever in your life visit North Dakota, because North Dakota absolutely sucks. I want to say no offense, but also, like, if you're somebody who loves North Dakota that much, you can take offense, I guess. I don't know, because I mean what I say, and I say what I mean when I say that I hate North Dakota. I didn't have a good experience there. Not very open-minded people there, and if you were to go there, it would have to be, if you were to go to like the western part of the North Dakota, the state of North Dakota, because that's where it's like part of the, not the Badlands, but the, oh god, the Badlands is more so South Dakota. Is it the Badlands that I'm thinking of? What goes into western? See, I've never even been to that area of North Dakota. It's not the Badlands, is it? But it's like there's bison out west, but it's Medora's there. I've never been to Medora. Ow, I'm like this. I couldn't fully go like snap, 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 crackle, crackle, pop, snap, 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 crackle, crackle, pop, 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 snap, 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 snap. How are we feeling about what? I should maybe bring that up in a different video. Okay. Yeah, I only have a couple minutes. I'll have a couple minutes left. Can I talk? No, I can't. I can only snap, 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 snap. See, like, instead of talking, use it right away as soon as you see it, or you have to use it not right away. You have to use it. You have to like drive in and go and see it and get new gas in your car.